Don't push me to catch on for a year. We're just chilling. And South Sudan, so Now champions the 2 years. No.
I think, as you saw the chain of events last week, nobody expected that to happen. It was an international journalist, Fabrizio Romano, who sort of tweeted and saying that Julian Nagelsmann's job is on the line. Yeah, that he's probably been eliminated by FC Bayern. And then suddenly the German newspapers, Sky Sports, as a German broadcaster for football, they came in saying, yes, true. And I think that chain of events, the board of directors of FC Bayern is divided in that question. Oli Kahn is probably the one mostly leading towards a replacement of Thomas Tuchel, because he don't know whether the 33-year-old Julian Nagelsmann is the man for the job, is experienced enough. Because yes, when it counts, winning 8 games in the Champions League out of 8, you can't question that. There is no way you can win 9 out of 8. Julian Nagelsmann did a fantastic job in that. But Julian Nagelsmann, as a younger coach, sort of rested sometimes players in the Bundesliga. In the Bundesliga, when you have a 10-point lead over Dortmund in November before the World Cup break, and that's melting away, and then you go into the national team break, and you are 1 point behind Bayern. The board of directors at Bayern was divided. And this dividing was seen because Herbert Heiner, who was the president of the football club, of the registered club, said just 5 days before the sacking, Julian Nagelsmann is a long-term project. Yeah, we think long of him. The results don't matter in the Bundesliga. We will win the Bundesliga. That's 5 days before the sacking.
Vote of confidence always come before the sack.
Exactly. That's why I think it was Oli Kahn, Hasan Salihamidzic in conversation in this rivalry. Will we be able? And I think there's another twist where Thomas Tuchel possibly, because behind the scenes there's always conversation taking place. And maybe Thomas Tuchel not sent a message, but in a conversation mentioned that he's ready to join a big club. He's got an offer on the table from a big club. And the Bayern board of directors fear that Thomas Tuchel again will be gone off the market. And who is going to replace Julian Nagelsmann in the summer when they don't win the German championship, when they don't win the Champions League? So that's why it was like a dynamic evolving of the situation where suddenly the decision appeared because of the media pressure. Fans hated the decision because they were happy with it. If you look into the social media responses of the fans, they questioned this decision very toughly because Thomas Tuchel's last job in the Bundesliga was with Borussia Dortmund. And also, Thomas Tuchel's departures at the clubs, they always went a bit sour. When he left Mainz for Dortmund, Mainz was not good enough for him. When he left Dortmund, he was sacked at Dortmund. It didn't go without noises. When he left PSG, it didn't go without noises. When he left Chelsea now, it didn't go without noises. And always is the second year, which is the big challenge. So the Bayern fans now say he would stay with us for 18 months, and then he's gone. And then we lost our Julian Nagelsmann, because when you look into the contract relationship, Julian Nagelsmann contract at Bayern runs till 2026. Thomas Tuchel's contract with FC Bayern runs until 2025. So maybe Julian Nagelsmann will be the successor of Thomas Tuchel, but he will go away again in 3 years from now.
Seriously speaking, this is sounds so tough. You know what I do now? I don't hear it. No chapter, I'm not joking. We did. Really? Okay.
FC Bayern is a machine, and the machine is filled with oil, with revenue, with the commercial package. And you can see that FC Bayern just announced before their General Assembly that they've got more than 300,000 members. And you see every member pays 60, 80, 90 euro for an annual membership to get a possibility to buy a ticket. This ticket is not guaranteed, but the members in Germany, besides the funding of the players, the members in Germany also provide, they pay a membership fee, and the more members you have, the more obviously commercial foundation and funding you have. And that's, Bayern Munich is very smart in that, growing the membership. But FC Bayern Munich is also very smart in identifying their shareholders. So besides the registered club, they've put a they put a commercial entity called FC Bayern München AG, a shareholding company. But the shareholding company cannot be sold by 100% because 51% of this shareholding company is owned by the club, by FC Bayern Munich registered club, and then 49% of these shares are floating. And Bayern Munich sold 10%, I think, to Audi. Bayern Munich sold about 15% to Adidas, and they are shareholders of the company. So it's in the interest of Audi, it's in the interest of Adidas, it's in the interest of Allianz as insurance that FC Bayern is doing well. So when they enter the shareholding, when they become a shareholder, they obviously put funding into the team as well, which is sponsorships and also the overall assembly. And then Bayern has just a mid and long-term plan. They constantly go out of their comfort zone. They constantly challenge themselves in the board of directors. They constantly challenge the coaches to keep the players hungry, to be satisfied with the 7th title, the 8th title, the 9th title in series. The hunger, the determination of FC Bayern is frightening. It's frightening the opponents. And the most frightening part of FC Bayern is the consistency. And FC Bayern has been consistency running like an oiled machine for many years. And that's what I think your conversation and our conversation is leading to. Yeah, the consistency of the results for Julian Nagelsmann. That has been the one question by the board of directors.
Yeah. My name is Frank. Frank Idemudia Alapa. That's my name. Talking sports, Margaret. And I am the greatest. I love listening to Elegbetter TV radio. For undiluted, unadulterated, it's probably replicated, but still not yet duplicated. It's sports only on Elegbetter TV radio. I seriously love listening to it.
At first, it looked as if it was impossible.
Mm-hmm.
But even God factor, every day it became so clear and getting clearer. 9 out of every 10 said, it was not possible. What are you talking about? So the lesson is, it is possible.
Hello, everybody. What's up, people? My name is Timmy Dakolo, and you're listening to Elegbetter TV radio. Stay tuned.
We have formulated a world-class team, mainly in Nigeria, Nigerians, and we have also a world-class team across in Europe to deliver this pioneering project. So what are we providing? Let's get to the crux of it. Live stream of your MPFL games for next season on your own OTT platform, via your mobile devices and laptops, called MPFL Live. MPFL Live, powered by GTI and Treble. The tech. So we've instructed and engaged Pixelot, and a Middle Eastern company, and ITV Africa. They are the world's leading AI technology companies. First time in Africa to do this. First time in the world, as quite rightly pointed, to do this. It is really a watershed moment in Nigerian sport. And we are only the catalyst for progress.
Let's get the show on the road.
Broadcasting. Listen. You are listening to Elegbetter TV radio.
All right, good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet on Elegbetter TV radio, starting off 9:10 a.m. But I just needed to bring that to refresh our memories again and compare and contrast, okay, how the dynamics of a system that works in Germany is and how the dynamics of a system that is trying to work, that is looking for how it will work. One is efficiency, consistency, proper management of resources, and the dynamism is just there. And then on the other side, we're still looking towards God, the God factor, the God factor, the God factor. I hope that one day we'll get it right and we'll be talking about the Nigerian League and saying things like Eyimba Football Club have over 300,000 members who are paying 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 just to be on queue. Okay, like we heard about the German team, and there is a whole lot to talk about. Stop liking my jersey, go and buy your own. And a whole lot of things to talk about. And then there is good news for the Handball Federation, as the fan love in a very, very beautiful bride. Yes, the National Handball Premier League will now be known as the Andover Handball Premier League, following the unveiling of the Andover PLC as sponsors of the top tier handball league. I'm going to explain all that in details. And for those of you who don't know who Andover are, I'm going to explain and take you on a little bit of the journey. And then there's the transfer stories. There is Arsenal explaining why they are going for Kai Havertz, kick against indiscipline in their team, and all that. I'm going to explain all of that, and we're going to talk about all of the transfer gossip, and then look at the Declan Rice, the deck on Declan Rice, and ask ourselves some very, very honest questions. Man City is not in the conversation. Manchester United are in the shadow of the conversation, and the reason why I say they're in the shadow of the conversation is right now the major talking point for Manchester United is the new owners, the takeover, and that takeover, as long as it is not done, the Man United will not be able to do any proper transfer dealings, because come on, you are the Glazer family. You know you're going to sell this club anytime now. Are you going to be putting that money to buy players again? What's your business with that? The new owners are going to come and then clean up their messes or whatever thing that they do, because in business, you buy both assets and liability. As much as to buy the Manchester United brand and the name and the power and the position of the club in the league and all that, you would also have to buy the liability, like the stadium that is going dilapidated, that is going rickety. You're going to need to fix that. The squad that is not properly balanced, you're going to need to fix that. The coach, if this is a guy you need, or you need to give him some chemical to grow hair, afro on his bald head, you're going to need to fix that. So it is assets and liability when it comes to business. I may not know too much about business, but I think I know that one. I learned that in my commerce class and my economics class, and I think it stays, even though I'm a science student. So let's look at all the things in between. We would also talk about it. Okay, so the major question of the day, have you found yourself, even though we're not Brother Shaggy, but have you ever found yourself in a place where, trying to do, how they say that you adopt and adapt, right? So you see somebody doing something good and you like it, and you say, okay, I want to copy this, and then I want to do it for myself. Only for the persons to start getting angry that, why are you copying me? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And then they start seeing what you're doing as criminal, even though you're not infringing on any rights, okay, that is supposed to be criminal. Oh, what's the fulcrum of what I'm saying? What's the core of what I'm saying? The English press, the English sporting media, and they're using their surrogates, which is their ex-players. Gary Neville first cried at night, is Jimmy Carragher. And those two, they are twins. They're always trying to outweigh each other, talk each other, do each other in who said it the best. Okay, complaining about Saudi Arabia and the money that they're spending and the players that they're taking. Jimmy Carragher even went a step further to tell Bernardo Silva not to go, and he's crying wolf that the Saudi Arabia must be stopped, that if they get Bernardo Silva, it will be a game changer. It might affect the game. Yeah, I agree that you have to protect the English game. But my question, remember on this show some time ago, say last year or so, but for a very long time now, I've been saying something, even on the Sports Lounge, I said it, and to the Gazzetta TV family WhatsApp group, I've always said that to the guys there that, look, Europeans are greedy beyond words, and they are in this recolonization of the world of football, and they make sure that they sign players from some of the top leagues, some of the top countries that are most likely going to be competition for the World Cup, like Brazil and Argentina, get their players at a very young age, bring them to Europe, get them to play the European style, and make them forget their home country style. Brazil have been so destroyed now that they're even thinking of employing Carlo Ancelotti as their coach. So everything about Europe is, we are the only one who have the right, just like America and NATO and the world, the G7 and the rest of them. We're the only ones who have the right to do anything. We can go to any country, buy their players, and put them in our league. But if any other person wants to do it, then it becomes a problem. First, it was China. Now it is Saudi Arabia. First, for me, my position with Saudi Arabia is I love what they're doing, and I hope that a lot of other countries in the Middle East can do the same. Japan can also do the same in Southeast Asia, and then you have Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain, Dubai. If all of these can do the same, and then Iran, and then maybe probably one day Iraq will come back to become the head of the Persian Gulf that it used to be. There's no more Kuwait, it's just Kuwait, and Syria, Lebanon, and the rest of them. Maybe when they are done with the dust of war and become a country again, they could also have such powerful nations and league, and then they push football in their own region just like that. And then one day Africa will wake up as well and will begin to have major investment in football in North, South, West, East, and especially West Africa, and then Central Africa as well. East Africa, Central Africa, and West Africa as well, because Southern Africa is good, Northern Africa is good, but they can go from good to great. I just hope that happens one of these days. But my question is, why is the English people complaining? Why are they lamenting? What's the reason? What right do they have to complain? Saudi Arabia have the money, like I just said in the interview we had with him. They have the money. They should be let to spend it. I don't go driving my rickety Undercity on the highway, and then I see somebody driving a Maybach, like that's a dumb pastor who said that Davido should go and sell his Maybach, and then I start getting angry. And in my head, I'm like, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? Yeah, you have your small car. That's what you can afford. As bad as that car, somebody else is driving a keke, somebody else is driving a bicycle, somebody else is driving a bike, and somebody else is trekking. So there's always a place where you are where you're better than somebody else. Just, feel good about where you are right now, be ambitious and move forward, but don't try to stop another person's growth and progress. That's why I say it anyway. But it's up to you guys to join in on the conversation. Well, let's go through the new segment and start with what's going on in Handball Federation. Like I said before, the National Handball Premier League will now be known as the Adova Handball Premier League, following the unveiling of the Adova PLC as sponsor of the top tier handball league. That's a very good news if you ask me. Every sport deserves to have a sponsor that packs them up. If you take away sponsorship from the Premier League, take away the media from the Premier League, it's as good as shit as far as I'm concerned. But if without the sponsorship, just the same way the Nigerian Premier Football League needs all the sponsors that can get and partners that can get, so that we can grow and be like, we don't even want to be like EPL anymore. Let us be like Saudi Arabia for once. Okay, in the press conference held at Adova PLC corporate office in GRA Ikeja, Lagos, the Handball Federation, and that happened yesterday, the Handball Federation of Nigeria, led by the president, Mr. Sam Ocheho, and the Adova PLC team led by Chairman Alhaji Abdul Wasiu Showemi, officially sealed the sponsorship of the league for another 3 years. Okay, Ocheho said since the sponsorship of the Premier League by Prudent Energy and Services Limited, the league has grown in leaps and bounds, positioning Nigerian handball to its highest pedestal and exposing the best players in the league to international reckoning for over 5 years. That's a very good one. If I said that the handball league will get a better mileage and surpass its potential with Adova PSC now as sponsor. So for those of you asking questions, what's Prudent, what's Adova? Prudent is actually the parent company of Adova. Adova is what you used to know as Fort Oil, or what you used to know as AP, African Petroleum, that became Fort Oil. Now they are Adova PLC. Okay, so they are still AP. When you see them, you still see the green and sea green and green color, white, and then they're still into oil and gas, downstream oil sector. Okay, now as sponsor, chairman of Adova PLC, Alhaji Abdul Wasiu Showemi, said he and his team are confident that the satisfaction they got in the previous 5 years when Prudent Energy was the league sponsor will continue with Adova PSC as the sponsor. Why? Hailing the Handball Federation of Nigeria, led by Mr. Samuel Ocheho, for being worthy partners all these years. Okay, so it's cool that the marriage of convenience, everybody is giving each other positive report. I hope that they continue like that. The executive director, Prudent Energy and Services Limited, Mrs. Abiola Baba Tunde Ojo, said the new sponsorship by Adova PLC would open doors for human capacity development by the company for players in the league to enhance them while playing in the sports, while also revealing that each of the 22 teams in the league, 12 male teams, 10 female teams, we get an increase preparatory subsidy. Oh, our subsidy is a very dangerous one right now in Nigeria. But subsidy of 500,000 naira, and winners will get 2.5 million naira prize money. The Handball Federation of Nigerian team was led by President Mr. Samuel Ochoa alongside Barrister Emmanuel Ahigbe, the chairman, Handball Federation of Nigeria Competition and Organizing Committee, as well as a board member, Otumba Sylvester Ikujemoye, board member and chairman, Handball Federation of Nigeria Medical Commission, Mr. Otman Ola Okuno. You know that man, very, very popular guy, very wonderful guy. He's also a match commissioner during the MPFL. Okay, member, Handball Federation of Nigeria Media Committee, Cosmos Chukwuemeka Akasisi, one fantastic guy, Handball Federation of Nigeria Media Aid, and Ubedi Ahmed, the Handball Federation of Nigeria IT person, while the Adova PSC team was led by Chairman Alhaji Adewasiu Showami, CEO Adova PSC, Mr. Olumide Adeoshun, Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Moshood Olajide, and Executive Director, Prudent Energy and Services Limited, Mrs. Abiola Babatunde Ojo. The first phase of the Adova Handball Premier League with the hashtag APHPL will hold in Benin City, Edo State from from 1st of July to 13th of July, and then we'll see how it goes. Whatever the updates are, we're hoping that at Elevator TV we will try to put a team together that will be in Benin to give you updates, both video clips and news reportage. Probably it's going to be Emmanuel Sebastian alongside Ahmed Kalejai. I'm not sure I'm going to be going there. We'll look for how to make that work. If it doesn't work, we'll still be here to give you the best updates as we can. That's the news update coming from the Handball. You can follow them on Facebook, HFN TV. You can follow them on Twitter, Handball Nigeria. You can follow them on Instagram, Handball Nigeria, and then on YouTube, Handball Federation of Nigeria. And you get a whole lot of their activities as it is going on over there. Well, let's look at some news that are making around in the football world. For instance, we all know that Karim Benzema, N'Golo Kante have all gone to Saudi Arabia. But Romelu Lukaku reasserted that he has no plan to move to Saudi Arabia and instead wants to stay at Inter Milan after Saudi Pro League officials made a second offer to the Chelsea loanee. But then there's news on Romelu Lukaku. He just might not be leaving Milan, but he might be switching from the blue and black to the red and black. Yeah, because we hear that AC Milan are saying the money that they got from the sale of Tonelli to West Ham would be invested in trying to get Romelu Lukaku to be the big man who will pay upfront with French record goal scorer and almost all-time record cap player, the former Arsenal, former Chelsea player. I'm talking about Olivier Giroud, who scored a scorpion goal some time ago that won the Puskás Award, but unfortunately that award did not win the goal of the week, neither did he win the goal of the month in the Premier League. Such funny things that happen in the beautiful world of football. Well, AC Milan are planning that they would invest the money from the sales of Tonelli to get him. Well, talking about Italian football, Juventus are also there because few days ago we talked about Thomas Partey leaving Arsenal and going all the way to Saudi Arabia. Well, it seems like the submarine have been discovered to arrive somewhere else in Italy, because right now Thomas Partey have agreed personal terms with Juventus over a £70 million move from Arsenal after snubbing the Saudi Arabian offer. And with Massimiliano Allegri, a big fan of the midfielder since his days at Atletico de Madrid, finally is agreed that one. Yes, Tonelli to West Ham. Tonelli to Newcastle, not West Ham. Sorry, my bad on that one. To Newcastle, not West Ham. Chelsea, okay, buy a majority stake in French League One side Strasbourg for 65 million as Blues owner Todd Boehly pursues a multi-club model to mirror exactly what Manchester City are doing with the City project all across the globe. But then, would that fix the Chelsea problem, the whole problem that they have with a boss lined up at Stamford Bridge, packing Chelsea players and taking them to Saudi Arabia? Longest 5 minutes of my life, Victor Wembanyama admits to butterflies as he waited to be drafted first by the Spurs, but his arrival in San Antonio, like his future NBA stardom, always seemed inevitable. Well, the most important thing, he has been drafted. So I give him the number 1 pick, and he's very, very happy. We want to wish him the very best. Chelsea are ready to return with a new bid for £80 million rated Brighton midfielder Moises Caicedo after raking in 107 million by selling 4 players. Now they have money, they can do business, and there's no financial fair play restriction on them. So those of you at Arsenal that are hoping, Arsenal will go and buy Moises Caicedo if Declan Rice doesn't come, well, you will lose your Rice, and you would also not have Moses to part the Red Sea, because even with Jesus, there was no miracle happening. That's just the funny part of it. Okay, so I don't think anything would happen. Now let's talk about Tonelli. Alversi Cagnaccio, a journalist in Italy, this is what he has. Sandro Tonelli is the ideal player for English football. It would improve everyone around him at Newcastle and help free up Bruno Guimaraes to become a more attacking force. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is the way stories are told. All of a sudden, Tonelli, I'm not saying that Tonelli is not a good player, and that's not what I'm saying, but I'm just saying that this could be a report on our part of the world, and you will see the whole conversation will be around all the negatives, not the positive. But these guys are telling you that Tonelli is coming to come and change English football. Really? Is it the guy that will change English football? You guys have seen him play for a couple of seasons. Do you really think it's the guy that will come and change English football? Newcastle are also hopeful that their move for Palace Joachim Andersen could be helped by the club's growing interest in Torino defender Per Shores. Let's hope that happens. Newcastle Sporting Director Dan Ashworth remains locked in talks with AC Milan over £55 million Sandro Tonelli deal as Mike Pace aimed to seal the marquee signing. So that is hopeful it will happen. England 2, Czech Republic 0. Calais Young Lions get off to an impressive start in the Euros under 21 as second half goes from Jacob Ramsey and Emily Rose Smith sees off Czech after early scares. You know, when I look at the under 21s of England and I look at the players in the squad, the first thing that crossed my mind is if these players were invited, if they were like black players and they were all invited to the Nigerian under 21, a lot of journalists, a lot of people, a lot of fans will say, we are bringing in over 8 players, we're bringing in players from top clubs, we're blocking the path of development. But that's really not the way it is. Okay, we're talking about dressing room rule. Now let's flash back to some story. Dressing room rule spells on the bench and the worst time of one player's career as Kai Havertz prepared to move from Chelsea to Arsenal. How have previous transfer been? The London rivals fared. Okay, so between Chelsea and Arsenal, we know that many dramas have happened. If you go back, you can go back to the days of William Gallas sitting in the stadium, in the match venue for, after a defeat and a failed title push. There's so many crazy transfer. Peter Cech, who gave his best for Chelsea and gave his worst for Arsenal, and William Gallas, who came in 1 minute, it was good, the next minute, he was fighting and headbutting his own teammate, even threatening to score own goals, and so many crazy things that have happened. William, also the Brazilian William, also crossed the channel, nothing to write on about. So many things that have happened in that switch between Chelsea and Arsenal, and I think that it's the players that go from Arsenal to Chelsea that have done well, all that former Arsenal players that have gone to Chelsea that have done well. And we could count them: Nicolas Anelka, Ashley Cole, Cesc Fabregas. They've all gone the other side and they've done extremely well. But then the ones from Chelsea that have come to Arsenal, I've not really seen them do well. Some people say Jorginho didn't do badly. Well, not enough games to really judge him on that. But you can have your opinion. You can tell me what you think, what is different, what you think different. But I think that Arsenal have gotten the bad end of the stick, just the same way players from Manchester United to Arsenal have been the worst ones, and the ones from Arsenal, not too many, but Robin Van Persie gave them title number 13. We can never forget that one. And there's nothing that has come from Manchester United to Arsenal that have done well. Silvestri, one of the worst ever, and there is still a lot more worse that have come from that channel. Well, we can push the conversation now, whatever you think. Have you ever tried to copy something that people are doing and then all of a sudden they see the bad in you? What is the base of that conversation? Saudi Arabia are trying to copy exactly what the English people did in their league. Remember, in 1992, when the Premier League started, there were about 9 foreign players that were playing in the English league. Currently, today, there are more foreign players playing in the English league, foreign coaches in the English league than even English players playing in the league. And it's the only league in the world that have that kind of astronomical numbers where the foreigners outweighs the indigens, the local players, but nobody is complaining. And now Saudi Arabia are trying to invest 20 billion to bring in the who is who in football. And all of a sudden, English football fans, ex-players, pundits, analysts, reporters, commentators, coaches, and everybody is complaining and lamenting and reading from the book of lamentation in the year that no, I don't understand. But I mean, you could give me your opinion, you could help me and think. I think Mikel Arteta has taken over the YouTube channel, is officially the owner or the admin of the YouTube channel today. But we're going to see about all of that as we go. It's 30 minutes, 31 minutes past the hour of 9. Let's look at some of the transfer speculations that have been going on in the beautiful world of football, and then I'll come back and take whatever it is your comments are. And for the Arsenal fans, let me ask you this. If you guys don't get Declan Rice and you've made up your mind, Thomas Partey obviously is going to Juventus. That deal is a done deal already. Granit Xhaka most likely going to Leverkusen. That deal is almost a done deal already. Who are the players that Arsenal are likely going to get? Because Moise Caicedo is going to Chelsea, more hopefully. And I don't think Arsenal have what it takes to compete with Manchester City for Declan Rice. If Man City really want him, in all ramifications, I think Man City will win. If Man City offers Kevin Phillips to West Ham and say, okay, we'll add money to it, that is a no-brainer. West Ham will jump at the offer and take it, even though City will pay less. Kevin Phillips does not have any value to the Man City team, even though now that Ike Gundogan is gone to Barcelona, and it's looking like Bernardo Silva might either go to Saudi Arabia or Paris Saint-Germain, depending on where he chooses to go. It might not be their player next season, but even at that, they still have enough in their arsenal, and they have enough money to spend. Plus, the fact that they won the treble means that they have a lot of money from the Premier League. They have money from the Champions League. They have money from the FA Cup. Okay, FA Cup is just a charity case. There's not really much money there. But all of that, think about it. Arsenal cannot compete with Man City for any player unless Man City don't want the player. So if Arsenal doesn't get Declan Rice and they don't get Moise Caicedo, who do you think that they will get to fill in the void that is going to be left in the absence of three midfielders that are leaving? CB Awilo Lokoba is gone. He's going to go to Burnley, hopefully. And then you have Granit Xhaka going, Thomas Partey going. Jorginho alone is not the guy that you want to bank on in that midfield. So tell me, who do you think will come in? And the explanation is that Kai Havertz is a player that is coming in to fill the space of Granit Xhaka. So it's not really going to be a second striker, or probably it's going to be a left-sided number 8 in the plans of Arteta, which I think is his best position anyway. So I guess what Arteta is doing, Arsenal is signing the Kai Havertz that played for Germany, not the Kai Havertz that played for Chelsea, because they believe that Chelsea actually limited and restricted him because of the position where they play him, not necessarily because he's a bad player. Well, I hope it works well for Arsenal. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not going to work well. Arsenal is still my prime tip to win the league title this new season, but we're going to adjust that prediction after their transfer businesses are done. I based that prediction first off on the fact that they were going to get Moise Caicedo and Declan Rice. If they don't get them, that prediction is gone in the dust. But then let's look at some of the transfer gossip that is going on around the world. And there's no way you talk about transfer right now without mentioning Arsenal, Man City, and Declan Rice in multiple terms. So let's start from the first one. England midfielder Declan Rice, 24, remains keen to join Arsenal, despite Manchester City planning to enter the race, and the treble winners also been able to meet the £100 million asking price. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta believes England midfielder Declan Rice, 24, is the club's future captain, and the Gunners are preparing a third offer close to West Ham's demands. My problem is, why are you getting close to the demand when you can just make the demand? I think that, this is my opinion, I think that Arsenal should offer some players. They should offer Reece Nelson, offer Awilo Lokomba, and then putting money on the table, snatch the player, because once City comes into that race is done. It's a lost race for Arsenal, and they will go. Well, the advantage is the fact that Declan Rice stays in London. He's got a new family. He's got a new baby. Moving to Manchester with the terrible, unpredictable weather, and where's the food capital of England anyway? There's good food in Manchester compared to London, but London is the fashion capital of England as well. And then there's a whole lot of there's better sunshine in London than in Manchester. Yes, I think he would want to keep his children, but these are sentimental reasons. Come on, for footballing reason and money reason, children would adjust, children will adapt. They can move. It's the same country. Can move from south to north, and nothing would happen. But hey, I think those are some of the emotional reasons that Arsenal are putting forward. But then, if you really want to do it, put the money on the plate and then get the deal done. Let's go to Liverpool. Liverpool forward Mohamed Salah, who's 31, is the next marquee signing being targeted by the Saudi Pro League after arrival of Karim, Benzema and N'Golo Kante. Don't forget, on the interview with Jurgen Klopp, he said that they've increased the number of foreigners per club from 7 last season to 8 this season. So there is a lot of rooms for all of the big clubs, Al Ittihad, Al Shabab, Al Ali, Al Nasser, to all the clubs are all this, all that, all that. Okay, all this, all this, all this, all that. Okay, Jurgen Klopp's agent has ruled out the Liverpool head coach leaving Anfield to replace Hansi Flick as Germany's national team boss. There's not going to be seen plenty of teeth with the German national team yet. It's not ready for that one. AC Milan are hoping to beat rivals Inter Milan to the signing of Chelsea striker Romelu Lukaku, who is 30 despite the Belgian forward spending last season alone with the Champions League finalists. Okay, that's according to Gazzetta dello Sport. Manchester United have found a middle ground with Chelsea over a deal for England midfielder Mason Mount, with the 24-year-old close to a £60 million move to Manchester United. Now, I say to you, Manchester United fans, is Mason Mount the missing link? Okay, like I asked Arsenal fans the other day, where I said, is Kai Havertz the missing link? These guys were poor last season for Chelsea. All of a sudden, they become beautiful bright. I think that Chelsea not even making the top 4 and making this much money, it does feel like they've made the top 4. Yeah, because almost all the money that these clubs made qualifying for the top 4, they are spending on Chelsea players. Some are going to Saudi Arabia, some that cannot even play regularly again are still making big money move, both in transfers and in salaries. And now you're having Kai Havertz going to Arsenal for about 65 to 75 million if you add the add-ons, and then 65 again for Mason Mount. Well, the age bracket is very good, but hey, if you look at Chelsea right now, how much did Arsenal make coming second in the league? About less than 200 million. If you look at Chelsea, they've already made 107 million in sales. They're still going to sell some more. If you add 120 to 130 that will come out from the sale of Mason Mount and Kai Havertz, you might as well say that they just didn't qualify for the Champions League. They won the league in England in terms of money recruit, but they didn't qualify for the Champions League. Okay, let's see how it goes anyway. Tottenham Hotspur have emerged as the front runners to sign Leicester City and England midfielder James Maddison. That's Tottenham Hotspur for you. They will always go for the lesser ones, and then they'll come and tell you they want to compete for the title. Where Emmanuel Sebastian will come here and tell me that Tottenham Hotspur will be in the title fight. They will not make top 4 next season. Bayern Munich are willing to offer a 2-year deal to Manchester City and England right back Kyle Walker, 33, if he's willing to come. That would be good for him. It would be an English league winner and definitely a Bundesliga winner. I don't think that Bayern Munich can go 2 seasons without winning the German Bundesliga. So if he signs a 2-year deal, that means at least, even if Bayern lost the title once, he will win in the following season. Arsenal midfielder Thomas Partey is open to a move to Juventus, who have a 3-year contract option ready for the 33-year-old Ghanaian international. Okay, Fulham are leading the race for Southampton and England midfielder James Ward-Prowse. I thought that Arsenal would have just gone for this guy because of his free kick ability. And remember, Arsenal have players with quick movement and they always earn a lot of fouls that they don't convert. With the 28-year-old open to a move to Craven Cottage following Saints relegation from the Premier League. Fulham boss Marco Silva is considering a lucrative offer to join Saudi Pro League club Al Hilal. Okay, Al Hilal is a club that just part ways with Judo Igalo because they couldn't agree on financial terms in terms of salaries and bonuses and all that. Marcel are interested in Fulham defender Antoine Robinson, but face competition from Manchester City, AC Milan, and Inter Milan for the 25-year-old United States international. Chelsea and Spain defender Cesar Azpilicueta, who is 23, is a target for Inter Milan. Let's hope that goes through. Borussia Dortmund are lining up a shock £30 million move for Manchester United and Tunisian playmaker Hannibal Majbri, 20. I like this boy, but sometimes his attitude can be as disgusting as a similar player that once played for Arsenal that have the same hair with him. I've forgotten the name now, but they have the same similar fiery attitude. Who spent last season on loan at Championship side Birmingham City. Yeah, Manchester. The Bundesliga side are also keen on Manchester City midfielder Cole Palmer, 21, as Dortmund seek a replacement for Jude Bellingham. Well, all these players does not look like replacement, but yeah, you know how Dortmund is. They buy them for cheap and turn them into mega money players, from Aubameyang to Lewandowski and a host of others. This is not the first time. It's not definitely not going to be the last time. The last one that they sold is Jude Bellingham to Real Madrid for over 110 million pounds. Okay, Premier League quartet of Brentford, Fulham, West Ham, and Wolves will rival Sporting Lisbon to sign 25 million pounds rated Swedish striker Victor Gyökeres, 25, from the Championship playoff finalist Coventry City. Okay, Manchester United have offered Jose Mourinho's Roma the chance to sign Netherlands midfielder Danny van der Beek, 26, who couldn't find a role at Manchester United. Roma winger Justin Kluivert, 24, will have a medical with Bournemouth on Friday before the Netherlands international completes a 9.5 million pounds move from the Cherries to the Cherries, on a 5-year deal. Does he really want it? Okay. Arsenal and Ghana midfielder Thomas Partey has approved a potential move to Juventus, with the 30-year-old expected to turn down offers from Saudi Arabia, according to Sky Sports. That matter is beginning to get serious, so we will see him play. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for your time at Arsenal. I'm very happy to see you leave. I'm very pleased to see you leave. Bye-bye. Leave our club. Let us get the right young players that will be full of legs, even lacking in experience, no problem. Real Madrid are monitoring Fenerbahce teenager Ada Goulia, 18, who has been dubbed the Turkish Messi. Argentina legend Lionel Messi, 25, has told Paris Saint-Germain and French forward Kylian Mbappe, 24, he deserves a real winning project. The Empire strikes back. Hey, Messi, I never knew you have bad math in you. I've always thought that you are the guy who doesn't talk, who doesn't strike back. The Empire really strikes back. Paris Saint-Germain, okay. France forward Marcus Thuram has told PSG that he will not be joining them on a free transfer this summer, following the expiration of his contract with German side Borussia Mönchengladbach. Now, I've been saying that Arsenal should sign this guy for so many reasons. He's a free player. They could just give him a very good salary. It's a battle ram striker. It's somebody who can deal with some of the crosses that Arsenal waste every time that they play, and waiting for the tippy-tappy balls to get into the net. This is just my opinion anyway. I don't know what's going to happen, but you can also add your voices to it. That's the story on the transfer side of town. Whatever you have to say, let's see. Yeah, somebody sent me a question the other day. Hello, Idafi. Let me read it. Hello, Mr. Idafi. How are you? I think you should read this on your show, not just on your phone in your house. I want to know, do you think that the Super 6 should be continued for a couple of years before we go back to the regular calendar? It seems to be very nice and exciting, but I don't know what you think. You are part of the system, you know better than I do. My name is Johnson Adewale. Okay, Johnson Adewale, that conversation is deep. You're not the only one thinking about it. I think it was exciting to see the Super 6, and a lot of people who were part of it would agree with me that it was exciting. But then again, I don't think every club likes it. Some clubs don't like it, because the thing about the Super 6 is the abridged league, is that if you start the season with 2 losses, for instance, you go away and you lose, and then you come home and you lose, you're most likely not going to be able to recover again, because it's not 38 games. It's just 19 games that you play, and then the season is over. And before you know it, you are battling relegation, because you go away, you lose, for instance, and then you come home, you lose, and maybe your next away game, which is game number 3, is against one of the big teams, and then they're already on the momentum, and then they beat you again. 3 defeats at the start of the season, you are gone. So a lot of people don't like it. They want to have a chance to, like, you beat me, I beat you. We battle over a long period of time. We will drop form, and then we'll pick form again. Some other people were in form before, we also lose form and all of that. But for me, where do I stand on this? I stand on anything that is good for the league, okay? It does look like the Super 6, again, if you bring in sponsors, because sponsors are supposed to come in for this new season. If you bring in sponsors are going to say, we're not going to give you, take for instance, the title sponsorship of the league is between 6 to 10 billion naira. And that's massive money anyway. So somebody's going to give you 6, let's say, hypothetically, let's say with 6 billion. Somebody's going to give 6 billion and you're going to give him such very few number of matches, they won't be happy. But then the Super 6 in itself will be a massive carnival that people will love. I agree with that part. But you're not going to put in 6 billion just to get a 15-game carnival in Lagos or any city that you choose to put in. That's one drawback to it. Again, for the way it was compact and the ease of covering the whole game was good. Again, if you look at the economic situation and the fact that most states have new governors now, I think that economically it will also be good to do another abridged league. Probably let's try the abridged league for the next 2 seasons. After that, we can now go to the elaborate 20-team league of playing 380 matches, each team having 38 games and all that. It's not really something that I can design. I am one leg here, one leg there, because you have to look at the economics and the optics of sponsors. If sponsors come in, they are going to have to decide a lot. If the clubs also have to decide a lot, because the economy of the country is not so good. No matter the sponsorship that comes in, you're not going to give each of the club 1 billion takeoff grant. So they probably will be playing for winning prize money of, say, 250 million to 500 million, depending on the sponsorship that comes in. And then you give them grant of, say, let's say start with 100 million each of the 20 club, or 50 million each of the 20 club. Before game number 3, that money is already exhausted. So you want to look at the cost of playing the entire league, especially now with the cost of living in Nigeria, and you say, what is best? What is best is the abridged league, but is it good for the sponsors? So let's wait till sponsors come in, and then the sponsors now come and decide what they want and how they want it. That's the way I see it. Joel, for now on that question, we'll keep going. This one came from Antonia. Antonia says, how do you deal with stagnation as a YouTuber? I have been a YouTuber for 11 years and I am stuck at 1,300 subscribers. It goes up today and then it goes down tomorrow. How do you deal with that? Do you pack up and go? Well, I'm also stuck. I'm stuck at 11,000. I've been stuck at 11,000 for the past 6 months. It's not going anywhere. 1 minute I'm going up, the next minute one person just joined now, one person just subscribed now. Before you know, next minute 10 people are unsubscribing. I could just say one thing that just pissed some people off, and then they will just go on and subscribe. First off, let's understand that today's world is we live in a cancel culture, and somebody can. Let me give you a very good example of that. Somebody the other day sent me a picture that his son is not feeling fine and I should send him money, and I told him I don't have. I just replied I don't have, and honestly I don't have. Okay, I have a whole lot of bills to pay. I don't have. Okay, before 50,000 naira will buy me about 6 to 7 gallons of 25 liter of fuel. Today 50,000 buys you only 4. And you have to keep this office running every single day, because if we're not on air, we're editing, we're producing content, right? And sometimes there's no leftover. And the guy, the reply the guy gave me, let me read it. Because it's just a couple of days ago. Okay, this is what I said. Hi, Edafe. Please, my little daughter is not feeling fine. Can you please help me with 250K to sort out the medical bills? And I replied, oh, sorry, dear. It would have been nice if you introduce yourself and we get to know this is the first message you're sending me. But beyond that, I really don't have money. I'm sorry about your little girl. I know how it feels to be in that kind of position. Last February, just did a very major surgery for my son, and I know how difficult it is to have your children falling sick, but I'm sorry, dear, I don't have anything. Then he replied, let me not mention his name now. My name is so-and-so, and sorry if I didn't introduce myself. I met you before. This is the picture that we took about 9 years ago, blah, 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 at Wave Your Banner. Thank you very much for your response. And I replied, I said, oh, sorry about that, but that's a very long time ago. And when you go to Wave Your Banner, you snap pictures with everybody. It's not about me knowing you or not knowing you. It's just a formal thing to introduce yourself before you start making demands on people. And then he replied, it's not really demand. It's not something that I like to do. but I'm in a dire strait and in a situation that I can't help right now. You know what it is. You're a father. You should understand. And then I replied, oh, I do understand, but it's just part that I don't have. And then he waited for a very long time and he said, you don't have, but you are balling. It's my son, my daughter's health that we're talking about. At least you should show some empathy and concern. At least, even if you don't have it all, you could give me something. I now replied, sorry, it's not meant to be a blackmail. I just told you the truth. The problem with us is that when somebody say they don't have, we always think that they have it all. The economy is hard for you and for me and for everybody. I've got bills to pay. I've got a lot to deal with that I'm dealing with. You just don't understand. And then he wrote again, you just finished a season where you were producing the league. You really think that it's okay to watch me and suffer with my child, right? Well, don't forget that we're the ones subscribing to your channel. As I'm speaking to you, I am unsubscribing, and I'm going to tell all the friends that I told to subscribe to your channel to unsubscribe, because to me, I consider you not good enough to follow. This is you being successful and being wicked. Thank God your channel have not even grown. If your channel have grown, this is how you will look down on people that are suffering. Bye-bye. Even blocking you. And then the guy blocked me. Well, that's life, right? But the truth of the matter is, I actually did not have. There was nothing. There was nothing I could do. 250K is big money, even if it is not. Come on, I've given somebody more than that before that I didn't know. So it's not really about me the number of the money. Okay, it's today. Medical bills are expensive. I know that because I just did a surgery for my son in February, and I understand how it is. But you see, the thing about life is, don't blackmail me to give you anything. Don't blackmail me to give you anything, because it could happen to anybody, right? But the way you go about it, I didn't set up a YouTube channel so that people will subscribe to it and then begin to use it as a tool to blackmail me to give them money. If I have, I will give. Okay, I've gone to hospital to pay hospital medical bill for people that I don't know. I've donated blood for people that I don't know. It's not something you should come out and make noise about. I pay people's rent, I pay people's bills, pay people's children's school fees, even if I not have it. People don't understand that when we started this company in 2017, between 2017 and 2022, we didn't earn a dime from any job. We were just doing free, using money, selling my property, selling landed property that I have to buy this equipment and set up. There was no, I'd spent 68 million naira of my own money without 1 naira coming in. But people just look at you and they go, oh, you have money, you have money, you have money, you have money. This is, it's crazy. But I'm just telling our friend who is stuck. So people will support you. People would also turn around to use it as blackmail. This is what I think, and is a lesson that I learned as I was doing YouTube. And first off, let's not forget that in the middle of my coming into this business, there was COVID. So it was difficult. But this is what I learned quickly, that when you want to do YouTube, I didn't know this before. I thought, oh, I was so good at talking sports. I was such a fantastic guy. The subscribers will come in droves, and then the money will come, and then we will do a lot of things. Yeah, I mean, I really look forward to making money from YouTube and sharing with people. When I tell people that since I started YouTube, I have not withdrawn a dime. My YouTube account still read. Let me show it here. Let me go check it again. Still read over 3,000 lifetime. Let me go to lifetime. Guys, just wait, let me show you. $3,198.79. That's the money that my YouTube account have made since I started. My channel, I've had 1,700,735 views from day one, which is 1.7 million, and that has given me $3,193. I've not withdrawn a dime from it, and the question is why. So first off, YouTube, for those of you who are YouTuber here, you know that YouTube says once you get to $100, you withdraw. When I started, I didn't do it because every $100 go and withdraw. It doesn't make sense. I felt like I was carrying a lot of people along with me, and they're making sacrifice to be part of it. Even though sometimes I pay them, sometimes I say, okay, let's take over what we have. I want it to be okay. Let's get to $10,000 or even $100,000, and then you share the money with them and say, guys, you want to buy a car, go buy a car. You want to do this, go do this. You want to. There's something you'll be planning to do for the last 5 or 10 years of your life. Go and do it. And then there are other people who are like regular listener, regular people who contribute on the show. That is okay. Let's go and surprise this person. Let me give you a good example. Is it Patrick or Ibrahim in the corridor, or just anybody? I'm just calling name random. Lord Mayor or Noel Turin. Let's just go and give them a surprise. It might not be much, but it's just us showing that, okay, we'll build this community together. But guess what? People don't see it like that. And so for you, I know how hard it is. I was very popular. I started YouTube and the numbers were not rising. People were not subscribing. Some people will subscribe, they will munch it and send it to me on WhatsApp and tell me I've subscribed. When you get to the top, remember that we're the ones that made you. And sometimes it's crazy. It's crazy when it becomes a blackmail. And I'm always asking, the people that are following Arsenal football fan or the people that are following Fabrizio Romano, is this how they blackmail them? Is this how they make them feel like, oh, you have to pay my bills, or you have to have. Somebody called me one time. Let me tell you one funny thing. Somebody called me one time, said he went to Chinese restaurant with his babe, and the bill is more than what he have. That I should send him money. I don't know him before, nothing. And I was like, bro, it's not me sending me and my wife. Now, Mama put with the shop. Mama put highest Yakoyo, 15 naira for jollof rice, one scoop. 500 naira, sorry. Is it no 250 naira for one scoop of jollof rice? You go Chinese restaurant. I can't remember the last time I went to Chinese restaurant, and I don't know you. We've never spoken before, and you say, "You say I'm subscribed to your YouTube channel now." You see that's like some of the things that we face, and I say, "Okay, how much is the bill?" He says 116,000 naira. I didn't know what I said. When I shop well, I'm going to shop for elephant and dolphins. Because I don't get it. Until recently, I don't think I can take my wife and my kids and we'll go. See, cinema is just like 2 blocks away from me. I hardly go to cinema. Not that I don't like it too. My kids love to go to the cinema. I don't go fee pay. I don't fee pay 5,000 to watch fee. I spent like 10 years of my life wearing only jerseys because my shirts, I don't want to be wearing them on when I was working. I was wearing jersey all the time because it was cheaper. You can watch it and wear it. Nobody will judge you. It was okay because I was managing my life. My focus was pay children's school fees, pay house rent, pay your major bills, leave fashion. Fashion will come later. But you go to Chinese restaurant and say, "Man, I can't pay what?" Jesus. Because you subscribe to my channel. Not like say your subscription said they wouldn't give me money. Yeah, I don't know if you understand. So this things happen anyway. But let's go. Let's read out the messages. As a YouTuber, you get to face a whole lot. And even social media influencers, if all these social media influencers tell you what they're facing. If I give you my phone and you check my DM, Jesus. The other day I went to go and interview Odio and Gallo. I will posted it. And somebody said, Odio gonna give you money, bro, share the money. And I was like, you need to ask all these footballers. Some of them, I would they buy drink, they go give them. Some of them, I would like when we show up now when they give them gift to. That be, I'm not bragging about it, but I'm not interviewed any footballer in my life, ex-players or current players, and I collected money from them. I don't even wear the jerseys when they give me. Now they don't know Saturday they wear jerseys, then they bring for me again, and I like it like that. I don't want anybody to have a hold on me. Yeah, my pride is very, very admirable, man. My pride is over Mountain Everest, but people don't understand. Baba J619 says, Ingo Bros Brando, how you doing? Is that Calabi? No, it's not Calabi. And he said, we went to the London market to get rice, but we end up with Kia. Arsenal can never change. That's my tweet. I tweeted that yesterday. No, I wrote that thing on one Instagram page. Went to London market to go get Declan Rice and Moise Quesada. We came back with Kia Picanto. God will judge Arsenal. God will judge Arsenal. Arsenal fans will just get hope like this. Papa Jumar says, good morning, Oga Edafe. Good morning to you. But when China and USA are signing those players with bogus salaries, there is no kind of outcry from English. What has changed? Not many idiots. They're just being stupid. Mostly 101. Mostly, where have you been for a while? Tonali to West Ham. Thought it was Newcastle. It was Newcastle's foreign. I mean, my head not correct. Baba J615, he say how he will be sacked this season. That I know for sure. It will be sacked towards the end of the season. Somewhere around February, March, it will be fired. That is if they don't fire him earlier. Cars, he said Chelsea and Man United players doesn't favor Arsenal. I wonder why will still keep buying from Chelsea. I don't know, but I think Kai Havertz will favor Arsenal. I just think so. And I don't know. There's something in me that I think it will favor Arsenal. It's just that it's not the priority signing, but they've got to do that well. Let's see now they will first focus on their priority. So Vicky said Chelsea players go to City and Man U, and well, only case is different. Maybe the Arsenal team squad from always run off for them. I don't know. Arsenal should go for Verratti and Barella of Inter Milan. They won't sell them. They don't want to sell those ones now. So I think it's the Chelsea players go to City, Liverpool, and Man U and do well. Only Arsenal case is different. Maybe Arsenal form do rub off on them. Maybe that's what he wanted to say. Mr. Sugar said, please, good morning. Did Igalo mention where he's going next? No, he told us that he will let us know that Stagers are talking to quite a few people, US and some other places. When it's done, we will be the first to get the news out. Okay. Sister Nailema was supposed to have a hangout with Igalo. Okay, maybe next week. Sister Nailema say we can have a full league, maybe a top 6 carnival at the end of the party, like the Super Bowl in the US. Okay, that one, I have a conversation with the organizers this morning before my show, and I suggested that one as well. But the cost of the teams running around the country is what we're really looking at. So now said the Super 6 being just a carnival, not a league decider. No, if you not be league decider, nobody will come. Official AK Udensi says all more people the para. Daniel say that message reeks of entitlement. The amount of people with entitled to another person money for this country, you know them. Peter, when I say what level of entitlement mentality is that people there? Peter, now you talk this, you know how far. See what did they do? You don't forget. Mostly 101 said now, wow, say entitlement share. They subscribe to my channel and then they feed my children. Some people say go tell you, see, and then they pay my children school fees. If not be for them, I for not die. This, that one. People then they believe when I say I've not earned a single dime from doing YouTube. Then they believe me. I am Mr. Senna said cheap emotional blackmail. The channel is not for charity. I don't mind the idiots. Then I worry boy, the grandson of Bidiki. Hey God, I beg you. The Lekwe Pikin, I know they won't blackmail me. The Lekwe Grand Pikin. I don't know anything. I just look at the laugh. But the official AK would see the guy. He not the para thief he be. Like all of us are going through a lot, but you that seeking for help is being. I don't understand. Me on my own, I'm like, Peter, you know how far now. You know how far. How many times you don't give me your ATM, say make I survive on your own bank account? How you don't sell things just to give me make I survive in this business? Some people did that. Person like you supposed to tell me say, I beg, bros, give me your wife. I use her to go flange her for like 1 month. I'll bring her back to you. Or people like Linda, they go say, come up for your house. I'm sending some visitors to Costa. Go sleep on that bridge in 1 month. Peter says, see, monetary spirit, because you produce league, me say money don't fall everywhere. They say they owe me for league I produce. So make you know dress fine because one caller subscribe to your YouTube channel. Make you go look bush. Don't mind the guy. One guy tell me say you don't have money and you're buying expensive sneakers. I said no. I for wear Moses slippers now because you subscribe to my channel. You see the YouTube thing, you never say anything. People go tell you things when you know what here. Manuka us to say hello, boss. Let's go, boss. Baba, I like this your jersey. Stop liking my jersey. That's so long through to the start. I can't laugh. Manuka us to say, boss, what the Saudi guys are doing now? China did it, but my question is, how sustainable is it? Again, money that will be sustainable. How is the China league today? Because somebody did something and fail. You know how many people don't do online radio or YouTube channel and fail in Nigeria? I'm succeeding at it. You know how many people don't talk, say they want to fix Nigerian league and somewhere along the line they fail? I'm succeeding at it. So the fact that people failed, you know how many people try to fly a aeroplane before we get to where we did so? People would always fail at something. Remember, that is a failure of others that will teach you how to do what you're doing and do it right. So I don't really buy into the fact that because China failed, Saudi Arabia will fail. No. Qatar just hosted the World Cup. China, first of all, Saudi Arabia, China did not fail. In my opinion, China did not fail. You might call it a failure. They might have hit their target. Again, Saudi Arabia's target is to host the World Cup in 2030. They want to create a football culture and awareness, global football awareness, a system whereby their people know how to come to the stadium during match days before they go for the World Cup, so that nobody will stand against them. And then if they succeed in hosting the World Cup, they have succeeded. So my target before I start a team is what determines my success, not other people's opinion. I can't sit here and say China have failed. There is still football league in China. Everything is still going on well. Probably what they did with bringing those foreigners is to bring the crowd to the stadium. And they had COVID. Now they are back to normal, and they think they have the numbers that they need. They are doing the awareness that they need. It's done. Politicians when they campaign after election, probably their own election is over in football. So you can't call it a failure. I don't see China as a failure. If China don't do all those things, now China is world power. Do you know if what they did with the football was to first of all gain soft power? Now they've gained that soft power. They've aligned with Russia. They are a threat to America. Probably that's what they needed. So their target is always very, very important. Okay, let me say greeting, boss. Jerry Sampson say, bros, good morning. Oh, you didn't tell us why you love Russia. I will always love Russia because a Russian doctor saved me from amputation. But beyond that, I think that another reason why I love Russia is when the rest of the world was invading Africa, Russia did not invade any country in Africa. Show me one country that was colonized by Russia in Africa. I'm a Pan-Africanist, whether you like it or not. That's first and foremost one of the things that I look at. So the reason you look at England sits where they are and be giving order to people. The crown that their king is wearing is of stolen diamond from the Congo. America is sitting there giving people order. They invaded Iraq. They destroyed Afghanistan. They do this and do that. You that do all that nonsense and you're coming to talk to people about war crimes, shut the fuck up and rest. Don't come and give people order when you cannot even follow your own rules, okay? So those are the reasons why I like Russia. Have never joined hands in invading Africa. I don't know if you have facts that's contrary to it. I'm ready to listen, but I don't think that there's any suffering in Africa right now that I can blame Russia. France benefits $500 billion every year from 16 African countries. They still hold them by their neck. They cannot, the 16 African countries cannot sell their product to any other country except France first. And France can even say no and still tell them not to sell to other countries. And nobody talk about that. France cannot win any major championship without African players in their team. But yet, they do not do anything to develop any of the African countries. Rather, they keep making the African countries look terrible and very, very bad. They destroy the economy. Anybody that speak up, they assassinate that person. They cause any other sort of problem. That's not only showing the political show, but that's the reason why I love Russia and I'll continue to love Russia. I don't care what the West. I'm not fooled by their foolishness. So first off, I'm not looking to Japan. I don't want to relocate. I did my Nigeria here. I don't want to relocate. It's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. So it's like, oh, one day you will not come and beg us to come. Not lie. I can go vacation anywhere I want to go to. In fact, this whole buzz for Japan. First off, I started traveling since I was 3 months old. So it's not like traveling is a new fad for me. I started traveling since I was a kid. My father traveled around the world. My grandmother is a French woman. People don't know. So the whole push this or push that is not there for my agenda. So some people tell you they love England or they love America or Canada because they fear say one day anything where they post go stand against them when they look for visa. If I'm going to apply for visa, my money I want to spend for your country. If you talk to me any at the embassy, I would insult you and walk away. Go to my house where I pay rent and I stay. I don't need to come to your country to be comfortable or be satisfied with my living. I go drink water here, I go drink water there. I go shop food here, I go shop food there. If I come to your country, I go either work for the money where you go give me, or I go spend my own money. So I get the right to love any country where I want to love, as long as the countries are not doing bad. Lord Mayor is saying, boss, now, Finidi won the league. Do you see his rating as coach go high? Well, I think that one of the things that a lot of people don't put into consideration with Enyimba winning the league this season, this is one of the best titles that they've won. This is a title where Enyimba is one of the poorest teams this season. No money. People don't know. But because they have experienced management, Jude Ayanofu, Ayase Agu, these guys manage their crisis. That team is in financial turmoil. If you from Abia State, you know that your past governor was, at best, let me not use words that I will need to go and defend the court. but you know what I mean. So there's no money at all. Alex Uti has come in. I don't know if he would create money out of nowhere, but first off, let everybody know there's no money in Nigeria. There is no money. This country has been stolen dry. So you see all these measures that are going on is another measure to tax the people, to squeeze the people, to create money in the system, and then convert those money into resources, into products, into services that would continuously generate money. So I think Enyimba Finidi Judge have performed miracle, and he's done it in grand style. So I think his rating is high. His rating was high before, so I've always rated him high. With Finidi, you know, I will always be sentimental. I mean, I'm a friend of his family, so I would always be sentimental. I'm his friend. I mean, Smalley. I won't call him my friend. He's my big bros. But facts are not things we can argue against. Manuka Austin said Lukaku should go to where he like and never return to Chelsea. Jesus Christ, you're mean. Manuka also said Tonelli to Newcastle. Yeah, sorry about that. Manuka also says now wow for the transfer. Manuka Austin again went on to say Brighton will make money from this Casino guy. Yeah, for sure. As I said, Tonelli will not change nothing, but is a good buy for Newcastle. That means it will change something. Manuka Austin say Ashley Cole was good at Chelsea. Excellent, not just good. Manuka Austin say Chelsea has benefited more with players coming from Arsenal. I agree with you. And anyone else say Arsenal is also going for Lever until they sign him first. Manuka Austin, but they need to be more serious. I guess that's what you wanted to say. And Manuka Austin said, why will Lukaku want to move to AC Milan? Well, in Italy, moving from one rival to the other is not a big deal. That's the league where it is easy, and I like that in their own way of doing things. Lord Mayor says, so I'm so confident that PSG will get Osimhen if Mbappe leaves and let him leave early. But for that 250 million, I'm not sure Real Madrid is willing to pay 250 million, knowing that next summer he will be a free agent. But the thing is, they don't have a center forward right now. So between Mbappe and Osimhen, who would Real Madrid likely want to go to? But I know if Mbappe leaves, then they will go into the market. And then if they get 250 is massive money. Like, I don't even want to think about it because I hate thinking about other people's money when I should make my own money. Manuka said Dortmund and Benfica knows how to buy these young players and make massive money out of them. Manuka also says, no, sir, the Super 6 should be stopped. I think it doesn't bring out the real champion. Let us go back to the proper league, okay? I can't argue with you, but I think I like the Super 6 and there are factors involved. Ashuri Ibrahim showed up and said, at Manuka, I think the Super 6 gives us the best team to represent us on the continent. Manuka also say, I just subscribed now. Thank you very much for that. And please don't blackmail me. Don't ask me for money. I don't get to. I don't tell you now. So I don't talk for grant. When I don't go to this and get money. I just the package. All this thing where you see me, they wear packaging. You don't say why I buy the keep. Everybody's welcome. And so one person buy one Arsenal jersey, give me finish. He coffee say he get right to the talk area to me. I don't wear the jersey again. I never want. Maruka has to say the guy mentioned 250k. Are you kidding me? 250k. Oh God, people get out to. I think I need to be that bold. I need to beg people money now. I don't say, I mean, you have 2 billion. Please help me with 2 billion. I have one business plan in my head. Just give me 2 billion because if people feel they ask me 250k, if I call Alibaba tomorrow, I go ask her for 2 billion naira. True to God. Well, Alibaba will block me. Alibaba don't take nonsense. I know I'm not going to try that nonsense. I won't. I don't want to lose important people in my life. You could just block me, not answer me again. Manuka has to say, oh my God, are you serious with that? Boss, Jesus Christ. Cody Cashew. Welcome to my world, my brother. That's what we say. Yes, Patrick, you say, wow, this period, asking people for help is hard. People are going through a lot. The man or woman did wrong. Child, you never say do wrong. If you say, I mean, wicked, say, I mean, what let it pick. If you pick die now, don't pray for him to die. You go say, I'm kill him. You go tell, you go say, this is that person, I'm killing. 250 is huge now. I tell you, Lord Mayor say, LOL, 250k. Nah, just the guy from you. He said 250 now, just. Manuka Austin, they say that is pure blackmail, bro. Serious one. Like I says, our attitude to asking for help is not right most times. As a part, say, I use my last card to subscribe for data to watch people because many of them motivate me and make me happy. You, Eze Patrick, I told you to send me a message in my DM. You did not send me. You know, show yourself, oh, you be big boy, I feel bad for that person. He or she should think about it. Eze Patrick, please send me a message in my DM on Instagram. Please, I beg you in the name of God. Okay? How would you say all of that to someone you are asking for help? I'm pained. No, don't be pained. No, I'm used to it. He said this one that since I didn't be like that, be like that. Actually, Brian, he said, oh, he unsubscribed and he told his people to. That's crazy. The fact people feel they are the only ones going through stuff is silly. If I tell you I don't have, it's simple because I don't have. My brother, I don't know, but I won't come on my heart today. That's the matter. Is Patrick? He say it is terrible. Patrick say, Lord Mayor, my guy, long time. Lord Mayor says, Patrick, I agree to come. Hey, Muna, come off here, they do not para. What's wrong with you? Patrick say, he say, Man City na cheat normally. Yeah, you know, people get money. Why poor people, they beef people will get money? Liverpool people, there's a bit see cheat. Patrick, he say, you are kidding me. Carry girlfriend to restaurant and call you. My God, you never say anything. Welcome to my world. Let's say with the ball, the problem with the face. Lord Mayor, Eze Patrick, as that news come about Man City enter the race, internet catch fire. My lie. Even myself, my body shrink. I lose like 40 kg. Eze Patrick say West Ham go cash out. Seriously, Malik Austin, West Ham and Brighton are going to cash out. They go still go buy your players who battle relegation this season. Eze Patrick say except someone will sponsor his salaries. Okay. Eze Patrick say even Rod them still the OAM money now. And I'm going to tell you, Lord Mayor say, boss, don't you think Rudy is a strong contender for the Ballon d'Or? Rodri? No. Tiamiyu Temita Tayo say, bros, good morning to you. How will you rate Romeo Lavia as a player, and if Arsenal sign him, is he going to be a good buy? I share your opinion on Ward-Prowse. I think that Romelu Lavia, the advantage with him is the young player is growing. You can bend him, you can mold him, you can create him into what you want. But I think that Arsenal have players like him already in the team. And what I think is Arsenal is going gradually going to fall victim of what Arsene Wenger creates with that Fabregas era of players who are similar and easily get bullied. There are too many featherweight players coming into this Arsenal team. Arsenal needs some jagoda, some gangsters in the team, and that's what really missing in the team. But that doesn't mean that Levi is not a good player. He's a good player. I just think that Arsenal already have those kind of players in the team already. Marika also said at Lord Mayor, now Haaland get the Ballon d'Or. I think it's Messi anyway. Demola Ibrahim Abiodun, he said the way some people ask money, like say, now them start business for you. Attire. The guy like give me seed money to start my business. Marika also said this show now every day, boss. Yes, it's every day, Monday to Friday. Yes, Demola Ibrahim Abiodun say Marika on Monday to Friday. Okay, thank you for that one. Okay. Ashuri Ibrahim say, boss, don't talk, say he no get money. I don't get, I don't feel sure. I don't get. There's nothing that I wanted the fool myself, the lights I get. Here's a party say, boss, I did DM you now. Okay, Ashuri Ibrahim say, Ibrahim Abiodun, come, you are answering two of my names. Come pay title, you know whether or you the answer name. Temitayo says, I beg, that 250k guy self, he acted like he actually subscribed with intention. And since the transaction no quick, my guy Bailout, he could not find another client now. That's feeling entitled. This is Patrick say, bros. Now Maduka Austin get today. Ring bell for him. Let me ring the bell. Maduka Austin, that's like noisy, but and I get today. All I'll be happy say, can you rate Chelsea's chances next season? Chelsea are not going to win anything next season, but I think that if they sign well, they'll make the top four, but they're not going to win the league. Chelsea's not going to win the league in the next 5 seasons. Maduka Austin, I hear that Pitso Mesamane is interested in Super Eagles' job. He just signed a new job, a new contract somewhere now. How true is that? First off, we're not going to flip. We never feel they pay people the earn 50,000, 70,000. One go employ somebody where they pay 450,000. I beg you. His last salary, previous club was 250. Now he's on 450. Who go leave that job? Go just Super Eagles. We get only strikers, no midfielders, no defenders. Finalists is Nalima says some people only remember you when they need money. Even federal government no get, then they borrow. Attire. Babaji say, bros, do you think Alan will win the world best? It's between him and Messi. I will vote for Messi anyway. I mean, I will vote for Messi. I think Messi deserves to win it, but if they give it to Haaland, I will not be one of those people be here making noise about it. We've overshoot by 20 minutes, and it's Friday. You know how it is Friday. We're allowed to overshoot even up to 30 minutes. But thank you very much for joining in. Maduka also thank you for subscribing, but please don't blackmail me tomorrow for 250k. I don't get. I they look for money to buy equipment. I never buy. So please, as I did, so I'm money to take by four and now they will look for. If anybody not call, give me attention. I know they. I beg. The Olaraju says, okay, I think I did get the gist of blackmail now. Okay. Medical says, hey, bros, which Messi again for Ballon d'Or? Now Messi I won't vote for now. Shoot, now Messi I won't vote for. When person don't win World Cup, when I give a Ballon d'Or, he win World Cup now, I'm not gonna give her the Ballon d'Or. Not when I saying if he win the World Cup, then he deserves to win anything. He's won the World Cup. I been giving the last Ballon d'Or. They say no, and I love and support. I did here for Boss Man. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. That is, as much as we talk about the bad people, let's also talk about the good people. You guys are fantastic. You guys are here consistently every single day, spending your data and time with us. Is fine. I enjoy talking to you guys now. I mean, there was a time where I'll do 2 hours, only 2 people 9 day live. So I'm very, very grateful for the fact that you guys are here. But every good thing I have a beginning must come to an end, and it's time for me to run along and go do some other things and have time to prepare for my weekend. There's a lot to do, planned for next week. I beg all the Muslims here. Let me turn to be the beggar. I'm not entitled to, but all the Muslims here. I hear say next week Salah, I'm the one with the key ram. Don't go and tell me that your RAM have lost or they remove subsidy from your RAM. And they're not remove subsidy. Yesterday that I was driving to Kenya, everywhere I see people, they say Malu, they say donkey, they say ram and goat. Please, I like my own fried. I like my own fried. If I want to eat steak, I know where to go. I'll go to Crust and Cream. But I like my ram fried. Please fry it and use this fast rider to send to me. God will bless you. Don't come and tell me because of the subsidy and we just pray like that. Sure, send my RAM. If not, your team will be relegated. Thank you very much. My name is Idafi Mathias. You love to come in the Lego Town Sports. It's been the Sports Buffet on the Lego Tech TV Radio. God bless you. Have yourself a wonderful day. Bye bye. Woo!
I think, as you saw the chain of events last week, nobody expected that to happen. It was an international journalist, Fabrizio Romano, who sort of tweeted and saying that Julian Nagelsmann job is on the line. Yeah, that he is probably been paid by FC Bayern. And then suddenly the German newspapers, Sky Sports, as a German broadcaster for football, they came in saying, yes, true.
Anderson, sorry.
The board of directors of FC Bayern is divided in that question. Oli Kahn is probably the one mostly leading towards the replacement of Thomas Tuchel, because he don't know whether the 33-year-old Julian Nagelsmann is the man